All right, today we're jumping into a source that is practically buzzing with energy. It's making this incredibly passionate, almost urgent case for the Pi network. You know, the cryptocurrency you can supposedly mine right there on your phone. The author's message is pretty hard to ignore, so let's break down exactly what they're arguing. So the source doesn't waste a single second. It opens with this direct command, which basically translates to, "Pioneers, let's talk about why you should hodl your hashtag Pi and never sell it." And you can feel the tone there, right? This is not some gentle suggestion, it's a rally cry. And it really sets the stage for a powerful argument about playing the long game. Okay, so before we dive into all the reasons why, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What is the Pi network anyway? Well, the source defines it as a project that came out of Stanford in 2019. The whole idea, their big hook, was to make crypto mining accessible to pretty much anyone with a smartphone, all through a simple app that doesn't drain your battery. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. The article basically builds its entire case on 5 key pillars. We're going to look at each one, starting with the classic crypto idea of scarcity, then its ecosystem, its supposed stability, the power of its massive community, and finally, its big vision for the future. So let's get right into it. First up, that urgent call to HODL. The source frames this as, more than just a smart financial move. It's really presented as an act of faith in the founder's vision, a deep belief in where this project is ultimately headed. So the very first pillar of their argument is a total classic in economics, and especially in crypto, scarcity. The source is making the claim that the super limited supply of Pi that's actually on the market is a huge flashing signal for its potential future value. And here is the number they use to back that claim up. The source states that with fewer than 500 million Pi coins available on exchanges, the supply is, and I'm quoting here, super low. The logic is pretty straightforward. If demand suddenly explodes, that tiny available supply could, in theory, cause its value to just skyrocket. Okay, next up. The argument now pivots from just supply and demand to actual real-world use. The source wants to make it very clear that Pi isn't just some speculative token, but that it's the backbone of a growing, active digital economy. And to prove it, the source points to these key signs of life you see here. It brings up the first ever Pi Fest, a massive investment of over $100 million in app development, and the claim that people are already using Pi for everyday transactions all over the globe. The author's conclusion? This growth is unstoppable. Argument number 3 kind of shifts gears and looks at the wider crypto market. Here, the article really tries to paint Pi as this island of calm in a sea of chaos. It's all about contrasting its alleged stability with the crazy volatility of other big cryptocurrencies. And this slide just visualizes that contrast perfectly. On one side, the source points to the wild fluctuations of Bitcoin and Ethereum and, meme coins that can totally crash based on a single tweet. But on the other side, it portrays the Pi network as this calm harbor where its users can just stake and earn without all that market drama. Now, the fourth reason the article gives might just be its most powerful: the community itself. The core idea here is that Pi's absolutely massive and dedicated user base isn't just a number, it's the actual engine driving the whole network's value. And the number they cite is huge, over 35 million users who they call pioneers. But the article's really quick to say this isn't just about size. It's about having an active global community that, just by participating, is supposedly proving Pi's real-world utility every single day. The fifth and final argument is all about looking ahead. Here, the article paints this really exciting picture of what's next for the Pi network, basically suggesting that the biggest, most game-changing developments are still just over the horizon. The source points to this specific roadmap as proof that the journey is really just beginning. It highlights the upcoming launch of the open network, new apps and games getting integrated, and maybe most importantly, these whispers of listings on major exchanges, all of which are presented as potential game changers for the network. And then, to really hammer the point home, the author makes this unbelievably bold comparison. They're directly saying that selling your Pi right now is like selling Bitcoin back in 2010. The implication there is crystal clear. Holding on isn't just a good strategy, it could be a life-changing decision. So, after laying out all of those arguments, the source leaves its reader with this final, provocative question. It's a direct challenge, really, to get you thinking about the long-term potential and to imagine where Pi could be in the future. Finally, and this is absolutely critical, the source article itself ends with this disclaimer. It's a vital reality check, a reminder that crypto is a high-risk world, that this content is purely informational, and that it is definitely not investment advice. You always have to do your own thorough research. And that's our breakdown of this passionate taste for holding Pi. Thanks for tuning in.